Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We're taking a look at waves, and just before we do, we look at Bitcoin first, get a baseline of the market. Thank you, Jonathan, for requesting that I cover this here, of course. He's one of my patrons. Really appreciate that, and if you're not currently a patron, check it out. I think you will like what you see there. I have an instructional video in case you'd like to know what you're getting into there, but I share all of my trades with my community members. We have an awesome trading community, and it's just growing rapidly. So jump on in there. Looking forward to getting to know you better. Taking a look here at Bitcoin first, we want to take a look at the one-day chart just as a quick understanding what's going on, and we can see a pretty significant candle here, right? In other words, this wick got super long. The price sold off all the way down to 53,800. So 53.8, that's the support level that I've drawn previously. This is a support channel that I share with my patrons. And what's the bottom line here is the fact that the 60,000, actually the price closed above 60,000 on the one-day chart. So that reaffirms the fact that it's going to be a strong support moving forward. So hypothetically, ideally, you can try to buy as close to 56,000 as possible and likely take some profit to the upside when it hits 57, 58, 59, possibly even 60,000 here in the relative near future. Okay, so keep that in mind. Bitcoin's in very good shape. Bear in mind though also that we have 57,500 as a potential resistance. It's been tested a couple of times, rejected. We'll see what happens soon. So just keep that in mind. All right, moving on to waves. Let's take a look here and let's go ahead and look at the big picture. It's been a while since I've looked at this. I covered it back in April when I first started the channel, but I think right now it's it's moving fairly normal. And what I mean by normal is just the fact that most coins had a very similar pattern to what we see here. So I'm just marking some resistance levels here. We got 35.89. You could round up pretty much to say 36 is the resistance there. That's when the one-day candlestick closed 2 days in a row at that point. So just keep that in mind. That's essentially where we're at there for that. Price is getting closer to that all-time high, though. Keep that in mind. This is actually pretty good shape. Now let's take a look here. Of course, $32 roughly, 32.08 is the next major resistance. Price tried to test that yesterday and got rejected. We'll take a look at a smaller time frame to kind of identify why that might have happened. But simply put, we're looking to be, probably going to be testing and breaking that resistance here soon. Waves does have some good momentum, and overall, I see some nice patterns here forming. I mean, we've got these higher highs and higher lows, even on the one-day chart. That's very good. We'll take a look at, again, smaller time frames to identify, but we're looking nice there. I like the fact that the RSI is up over 50. That is a great sign, because if you are new to just say trading in general, 50 on the RSI is a pretty good support and resistance level. You can kind of see when it breaks below, it stays below. When it's above, it stays above. That's kind of a bullish convergence right now. Essentially, we're converging over the 50 on the RSI. We also had a convergence on the MACD as well on October 2nd, and it hasn't shown much signs of slowing. It has gone sideways, but that's still a very, very good sign. So we'll just go ahead and mark that here, just to kind of see on other time frames if that really helps us at all. But all in all, if you want to try to just become a better swing trader, pay attention to when the MACD is converging on the 4-hour chart or the one-day chart. And by the way, what I mean by a convergence is just when the 12, that's this faster moving exponential moving average, intersects with the 26 in an upward fashion. So when you got this intersection right here, it basically means the bears have lost control and the bulls are taking control. These are volume indicators here, basically letting us know that in this time frame, one side or the other essentially has control. Right, so now the bulls are in control, so to speak, so it should likely continue as long as we can keep making higher highs and higher lows. Let's go ahead and identify that really quick. Take a look at the 4-hour. Let's quickly understand first moving averages. In fact, back to the one-day chart, I forgot to mention this. The 50-day simple moving average is working as a support level. This is awesome because it'll hopefully continue to push the price action up. We could actually see the price ascend upwards here to eventually break that resistance. I think that's a strong likelihood based on its current momentum and the fact that the 50 is kind of interchanging with that, or basically converging with it, if you will, for lack of better terms. I can't think of the right word for right now, but if you can kind of see what I mean by that, the way the 50 is actually kind of moving parallel with that ascending pattern. Okay. So just something to kind of pay attention to and look at. But furthermore, again, the 4-hour chart, same thing as well. In other words, the 50-day simple moving average is working as a support level now. Same with the 200. So we'll likely see those just slowly kind of push the price action up now that we're above them. Okay, so all good things here. I also like the fact that we have a major increase here, followed by a nice, 16, 20 hours worth of consolidation. This is awesome. This is a very good sign. That means it's very healthy, and the fact that we should be able to see a continuation to the upside after it kind of calms down a little bit further and the the bears get to sell their positions, take their profits, and then the bulls can take over again. It's a very, very normal, very good thing, right? Because any good bull run will have an increase followed by a state of consolidation, right? We want to see a staircase pattern. I teach that to all of my patrons. It's really important to identify that when you're on a bull run, because if you don't see that kind of healthy run, if you just say the price jumps straight up, right, it'll come down at least 50% of the way. There's kind of like this law of averages, this gravity in crypto, where price has to come down if it comes up too quickly. Okay, actually, it applies to most trading. Don't get me wrong. In all my years of trading, I can tell you that it works in every other aspect. It's just that crypto, you see it more often because there's super large increases followed by very large decreases, and it usually comes back 50%. Taking a look here, again, RSI is well over 50, but staying under 70, that's perfect. We like to see that. Now, hopefully the RSI can kind of calm down, come down to closer to 60 and then ramp up again. Meanwhile, staying under 70 the whole time. It's kind of like, doing it's creeping, right? It's just creeping right under 70. Not that there's a problem if the RSI is over 70. In fact, you can watch one of my instructional videos on RSI if you'd like to, effectively manage that or take profits in that situation. But I like to see when the price just keeps jumping up to 70, calming down, up to 70, calming down. That's a good sign. It kind of, again, gives that consolidation phase meaning. Looking at see here, MACD convergence, we got 1700 on the 11th. So we'll just mark that as well. This guy right here, we had a convergence on the MACD. Now it's important to identify this because MACD convergence on the 4-hour chart, I feel, has a little bit more validity. And in other words, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 1-hour chart. We're going to see where the price action jumps above Ichimoku cloud. And if you're new to the cloud, essentially, what it does, it pretty much tells you that when the price is above, it's considered a buy signal. When it's below, it's considered a sell signal. So let's just take a quick look at this mark that I made back here regarding the 1-day chart, right? So the price is already up above the cloud. So had you just say take an entry back here, it would have been better. But just say, for example, you took entry here as well, you would have experienced a lot of consolidation, but still have experienced overall a little bit of growth, right? So the 1-day chart gave us an indication it's a little slower, right? Because it's a bigger time frame. Therefore, it doesn't catch as quickly. So I prefer, again, the 4-hour chart for the MACD convergence. Speaking of MACD convergence, we marked it right here, right? We just had a convergence yesterday at 1700. Basically, that's 5 p.m. Pacific. And look at this, what happened. The price broke above the cloud at the exact same time that we got a convergence on the MACD. You'll hear me say this multiple times. I'm sorry if I'm a broken record, but that's a freaking double rainbow. That is a really, really good sign, because anytime you take entry when the price breaks above the cloud, it's one thing. But when you have a convergence on the MACD, you see that bearish sentiment waning and the bullish sentiment waxing. It's awesome. It creates that very, very wonderful, complete security in the sense that you're moving in the right direction, right? Bears have given up. The bulls are in control. Why not join the bulls and roll with them? That's the important thing. That's what trading is all about, is identifying when these market leaders are moving the price. Because this isn't people like just like you and I, right? Yes, there's a little bit of fear of missing out, and there's like 2 waves for every increase. The first one is the whales, the second one is us. But regardless of that fact, we got to understand what the bulls are doing. And at least if you're going long, obviously short positions, bears, same sentiment. But I just like to identify this here. So in other words, we're in very good shape. There's not much else to really extract here. We don't need to look at the EMA and VWAP notification for the 15-minute chart, because honestly, we have to have nothing but consolidation. The price is going to be above or below consistently. What we want to identify here is how the price responds to the cloud. So hypothetically, the price comes over. It should bounce off the cloud and work as a support level and continue to push the price up. Furthermore, we also have the ascending wedge pattern here as well. So if we break below the cloud, pay attention to see how it responds to this ascending wedge. But furthermore, we are also a nice state of consolidation here. So I would say we are going to have to get ready for the price to increase again. So I think in the next 12 to 24 hours, we're probably going to see another leg up from waves. And I think it's definitely something that might very well break this resistance here. And I say might just because, it has tested a couple times before. It may not break right away, but I think eventually it will. And we should be able to see waves pushing on to its previous all-time high here soon. So my prediction is that we're going to break this resistance here at least within the next week or two. Possibly sooner, but I think giving it time next week or so. And then I would say within the next month, it'd be safe to presume that about $36 will be tested, if nothing else. Possibly broken, but it's hard to specify that just yet. Again, we want to see more continuation here, because once it breaks to the upside here and that becomes a support level, then people will start adding to their positions, more volume, and therefore more volatility. The price will continue higher. Okay, so it's starting to pick up steam here. So definitely recommend you consider taking entry on this one here soon before it's too late. But wait to see, I would say, if this period of consolidation breaks higher or if it breaks below the cloud. That would be an important thing to identify. All right, hopefully you found benefit here, of course, and obviously like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my Patreon account as well. Link in the description below for that, for a kind of an instructional video, so you know exactly what you'd be getting into. But I can tell you, a really cool situation. I trade about 85% success overall, and I share all my trades with my community members, and I send out signals with automated bots. It's a very, very awesome situation, and I'm really stoked about it because we just got the bots up and running this month, and so far it's been a really, really cool experience for a lot of folks. You just go one click follow and it's all said and done. Check it out in your own time. Either way, thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Okay, take care.